Alright, it looks like a few people might be there. Um, might wait a little bit more to see if anyone else shows up, but yeah, so this is going to be the fourth weekly Go stream for the L5R Go Club. What I'm going to start out by doing, same as last time, I'm going to go over all of the daily Go problems from the last week. And then after that, I'm going to, 4 in a row, yeah, welcome to the stream. After I go over last week's problems, I'm going to talk a little bit about the new season. So the points got reset for the daily Go problem activity. Let's see, where did I put that window? Unicorn Clan was the winner of the first season. I'm calling it Season 0 because that was kind of just the test season, and now this will be Season 1. There are a couple of problems up for today already if you want to go take a look at them whenever. But yeah, I'll be talking about a couple of the changes after we go over last week's problems. So I'm just going to go over them in order, not in the order of, I can't remember what order I did them in, so I'll just be going in order of the numbers, like what number the problems are. So the first problem we have is this one here. If anyone in chat didn't get a chance to solve any of these problems and wants to try and answer some of them, go ahead. Hello, Worker B. Worker B. Oh, you're the dragon player, right? Yeah. Welcome to the stream. So the first problem here, all of the problems are going to be black to play, by the way. So in this problem, black needs to live. Yeah. So one common thing that people tried was playing here, which seems to make sense at first glance. And then they said the follow-up would be this, this, and then white has to connect, and now black has enough space to make 2 eyes. The problem with this sequence, though, is that white actually has a better response here. If white plays at A2, and this might not be immediately apparent, but this sets up a ko. So when black captures here, for those of you who don't know the ko rule, it prevents just like an infinite exchange here. So after black captures the first time, white cannot immediately capture back, so has to play somewhere else. So this is where white would play a ko threat somewhere else, threatening to do something else if black doesn't answer it. And then assuming black does answer it, white can take the ko back. So at this point, it's a ko for life. Black actually has a local ko threat. Black can play here, and now if white connects, black captures. So white has to capture, black captures the ko back, and now white needs another threat. But at this point, if black doesn't have any other move to play, then white can connect, or even better, white can just capture there. But yeah, connecting kills black here. So it's not a great ko for white since black has that local threat, but it is ko for life, and there's a way for black to live unconditionally, and that is to play A2. So what this does is, if white plays here, this just turns into the same thing we saw before, where white has to connect, and now black has 2 spaces in here. So regardless of which one black plays, white can play the other one, and you'll have 2 eyes. Whoops. Toolbars. The other possibility is white plays here. So if white plays here, you can just respond by playing this move. And now white doesn't have enough liberties to connect out. He's 1 move away from being captured here, but if you connect, then you're still only 1 move away from being captured. So that doesn't work. And if you connect there, black just captures this. So that doesn't work for white. So this is just the better sequence here. So yeah, A2 is the correct move there. Let me go ahead and get the next problem set up. It's going to be up here. Like that. Alright, so this is an interesting one. Anyone want to try to solve this real quick before I give the answer? Let's see. Yeah, Neff already did this one. So, I'll start out with a move that doesn't work. This doesn't work, right? Because white just plays here, and now you don't have two eyes. So the obvious move would be here, right? If white doesn't do anything, then you can just capture and you have two eyes. So white needs to start the ko here. But this actually is not a real ko. It could be a ko. Black could try and fight the ko. But you actually don't have to, because if black now plays here, white can't fill in here, because that's the last liberty. That would be a suicide move. So white can't play there, and then black can just capture whenever you want. So as soon as white fills in one of these outside liberties, you would just capture that, and now you have two eyes. So the correct sequence here is A19, A18, C19. One interesting thing to note about this problem, though, is that if black had one less outside liberty on either side, this would not work, because now when you play here, you're filling in one of your last two liberties, and white can capture you. So in this situation, black does have to fight the ko, and it's a two-step ko. So you need to ignore one threat, and then capture there. If you don't ignore that threat, then white captures back. So yeah, the number of outside liberties is important there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's see what we have here. Alright, this one looks interesting. I think it's like that. Yep. Alright, so for this one here, give me 1 second. If anyone wants to try and answer, go ahead. So for this one here, so this is the correct move. I think pretty much everyone got this. If you try playing here, that's not good, because now white plays here, and then white has one eye here, and then it's going to capture these 3 stones here as well. So you can't do that. So this is like the only other move that really makes sense, right? After you play here, I think at least one person might have tried this. The problem with that is that that fills in white's second to last liberty, so then black could just capture. So white does not want to do that. The best move for white here that you could try would be this one. And now at this point you could fill this in as black, and this would make a bent 4 in the corner situation. Would it actually? No, it wouldn't. You'd have to win that ko, right? So yeah, that would be a ko. Dogs are barking, hold on. So the correct response to this is actually just to play somewhere else, like here, if you want. or just somewhere else on the board. And then if white captures these two stones, you can immediately capture back. And now this is a bint 4 in the corner, right? So this is dead. If white tries to play like this, you just connect. And if white plays somewhere else, at the end of the game, you can fill in this last liberty, then fill in this, then play there. And then after white has no more co-threats, they're just dead. Yep. Seems good. Let me go ahead and get the next one set up. Also welcome Evan. Evan is currently the only one to have solved every problem so far. Let's see. So this one looks like this. If anyone in the chat wants to try and solve it, if they haven't already, go ahead. I want to check something real quick. That was a different problem. We have A2. That is correct. So if you play A2, white can't play here, right? Because you're just going to immediately capture. That's called a tiger's mouth there. That shape where you have 3 stones. This here is a tiger's mouth because, yeah, A2 seems like a good start. This is called a tiger's mouth because you can't put your hand in it or you get eaten. If white wants to play in there, they have to play this first to poke, but then black can just fill it in. So it's a very solid connection there. So white can't play inside there, so the only thing white can do is play here, but then you just connect and you have 2 eyes, so you're fine. If black tried to play here, white could play here though, and now black can't play there, he gets captured, so black only has 1 eye. So A2 is the only move that works here. Wanted to check something, but I can't find that problem. Oh well. Hello. What's your name? Elmendretta Go? Something like that? Hopefully that's close. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one here. Ooh, this one's fun. We got this. Whoops. And that. Anyone want to give this one a try? Can call me Min? Alright, sounds good. So pretty much everyone got the first move on this one right. What's a court games? I will explain that real quick. So I play a card game, C17. So I play a card game called Legend of the Five Rings. Hi Tristram Wolf, how's it going? I'm doing good. By the way, I'm going to, after I finish going over last week's problems, I'm going to announce some stuff about the new season that's starting for the Daily Go problems. So I'll put it in the Discord also if you miss it. But yeah, so Legend of the Five Rings is a card game that I play, and there's a card in that card game called Court Games. I'll show it right here. And as you can see on there, they're playing Go. It's a little bit hard to make out, but that is what they're doing. Legend of the Five Rings is like a fantasy Japanese kind of samurai thing. Um, so there are some cards that reference Go in there. I think this one you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, so I started basically a Go club on the Legend of the Five Rings Discord server, um, and I've been doing a weekly Go stream. You can check out more about that game in my description if you want to look at that. But anyway, back to this Go problem. So yeah, I think most people got the first move correct, which is C17. If you try like A18, that's not going to work because then white can just play there. And then it's like, if you play here, you get captured, so you can't do that. If you play here and capture this, then this makes that a false eye. So that doesn't work. This doesn't work either because, again, white just plays there. So this is another one of those problems where you notice no matter where you play, white is always playing at C17, so it seems like that's probably a good place to go. So now white can't play here, or you just play there, and now these white stones are captured. The only thing white can try is playing here, which turns out to be a bit interesting. So black has to play here, and then white can actually capture, but that's okay because you can play here again, and then if white captures you a second time, you can play there and get a snapback. So snapback is like a neat little trick where you let your opponent capture one of your stones, and then you get to capture more of theirs. And in this case, that gives you a second eye. So that is the correct solution there. Let's see. Looks like we're almost done here. We only have one left. This one was a little bit more difficult, I think. Yeah, so not sure how many of our newer players would be able to solve a snapback without seeing them before. A pretty good amount of people were actually able to solve that one. I don't think it was too difficult. There aren't really like a lot of possibilities in that one, so it took a while to figure out. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like people were able to figure it out. But yeah, so for this one here, I saw some people try this move. Pretty proud of myself for getting it. Yeah, it's definitely once you see that trick a couple times, then it gets easier to see stuff like that. But definitely the first time it can be kind of weird. So the problem with this move, if white connected here, then black would be fine, right? But white will not connect there. White will play here. And now if you capture these two stones, white captures back, and now there's no way for black to get two eyes, right? You don't even have to capture that. Black's just dead. So that's no good. So this is actually a little bit similar to a problem we had earlier where the correct move is actually playing there because it sort of like peeks in here and now white can't play there. If white connects, we have this variation again where black is alive. And if white tries to play here, black just plays here. And now again, white has a shortage of liberties, so if you connect, you still get captured. And if you play here, these get captured, so that doesn't work. So this is white's best line here. And yeah, I think that is actually it for last week. Oh yeah, there wasn't one yesterday, that's why. I was thinking there should be one more, but nope. Yep, so that seems like that'll be it for that. Let me bring up the spreadsheet here and I can go over a couple things. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so zoom in maybe. So I've reset all the points for the new season here. So everyone has another chance to get as many points this season as they can. Definitely make sure you're, trying to get other fellow clan members to solve problems as well to boost your points up. I put a couple of the changes right here. All of the problems are now going to be worth 1 point, regardless of how difficult they are. And on some days there will be multiple problems now. So like this is for today. We have an easy problem and a medium problem. No hard problem though. So when there's more than one problem available, you can just choose whichever one you want to solve. You can only solve one of them for points. You can't do both. So if you want to give yourself an extra challenge, you can try the medium one, or if you want to just do the easy one, that's fine as well. Either way, you get 1 point if you get the correct solution. And I also added this Hall of Fame page, so for Season 1 there, Unicorn was the winner. And then I also added a spot for Evan for getting the most points. So yeah, the schedule for the medium and hard problems is going to be an easy problem every day, and then a medium problem every other day. How do we do this? So like I was saying earlier, this is for the Legend of the Five Rings server. So if you want to, yeah, Evan got the most points, but Unicorn ended up winning by 2 points. It was pretty close. So if you want to join the Legend of the Five Rings Discord server, the link is in my description. We have a traditional games channel on there where we talk about Go and other traditional games. And this is sort of like a little project that I'm doing on there just to try and get more people interested. So if you want to join, feel free. You don't have to join a clan. We had one person who didn't join a clan. The clans are just for the card game. They're the different clans you can play as. It's up to you whether you want to earn points for one or not. But yeah, so easy problem every day, medium problem every other day, and then hard problems will be on Monday and Friday. If you guys want to. But join Dragon, yeah. You don't have Discord. Well, if you don't want to download it, so the problem with that, well, Phoenix is the second best clan, right? According to this. So the problem is, I use Discord for people to submit solutions. So if you don't have Discord, you won't be able to submit the solutions to me and get feedback. You can, it's free software. You can download it online. But yeah, that's kind of the only way to participate. Like I could give you the link to the spreadsheet if you want, but again, you won't be able to submit the answers to me. Hold on, someone submitted one for the easy problem already. Runs in browser? I didn't know that. Okay, so apparently you don't have to download, you can run it in a browser. Talked about it and reminded me to do it, yeah. Let me go ahead and update that. So let's see if it updated. Nope, not yet. It'll update in a second. Oh, there it is. So Scorpion is now in the lead for this season. 1-0. And yeah, if you solve the easy problem and you want to give the medium problem a try still, you can still do that. Nobody do any problems, yeah. You can still do that, and I'll let you know if you got the right answer, but you can only get 1 point per day, regardless of how many you solve. The idea is that it's just supposed to be about, like how much effort people put in, regardless of how good they are at the game already. We just want to get people doing problems and getting better at it. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I had to talk about for that. So again, I don't really have anything planned after this. So like, if anyone wants to come on to Tabletop Simulator and play a couple games, let me know. Otherwise, let's see, what can we do? Can do some Go problems maybe. Rank reset on here, so I have to start over. Up for some TTS? Alright. What is this? I'll go ahead and open that up. Bad at actual games though? Well, you're not going to get better if you don't play, right? There's no bot here. The link to the Discord is in my description. I can also put it in chat, I guess, if you want. But yeah, you should be able to click on one of those images down there and it'll link to it. That was Tabletop Simulator making a noise. Let me move that. Oh, I have the sound on. Hold on, let me turn that off. Alright, let me make the server here. Oh, whoops, I did single player. Keep those the same. I found, someone recommended me this last time. It's called Scripted Go. I haven't tried it yet. Apparently you can change the board size there. Seems good. And then you can oh, not sure if that's working. See if I can figure this out here. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but so there's the server name and password if anyone wants to join up here. There's Evan. Kind of like this other table. I think I'll probably stick with that. I'm also going to go ahead and join Game 4 on the L5R Discord, the voice chat there if anyone else wants to hop in, so there's no like delay. Wait and see if we get anyone else in there. There's one. Should I upload a picture for Steam? So I think these guys can probably play an even game. Whoops. So Komi, for those of you who don't know, is an extra rule that got added to Go in like the 1920s, I think. It was pretty recent, relatively. Essentially, since black goes first, black always had an advantage. So they said, okay, well, let's just give white some free points, essentially, so that it's more fair. Just got Discord. Cool. So white traditionally gets like 6.5 extra points at the end of the game added to their score. The 0.5 is just so there are no ties. White wins ties, essentially. Yeah, so we'll have Evan playing black here, and then Yogo Ian, aka Mech Mage, will play white.
Okay, if I lose, I'm gonna blame the fact that all the Go problems we've been doing are from Black's perspective.
Yeah. Looks like Evan is here now. It's kind of just easier to have them all from Black's perspective because then you don't have to worry about it as much. Getting a mic, alright.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey yo.
Hey.
So,
Alright.
yep, I'll go ahead and keep track of all the moves so we can go over it after.
Cool. I'm trying to figure out how to full screen this real quick.
Yep.
Alright. Black goes first, right?
Yep.
That's right.
wants me to type in an instant invite. Let me get the link here. That's the link to the Discord server there. Should let you join. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing stuff here. Which one of these was first?
This one.
This one? Alright. Doesn't really matter too much, but... Alright, I'm gonna mute myself on Discord so I can do some commentary while they're playing here. So, interesting. So that move should have been, I don't want to point to it on Tabletop Simulator, but it should have been here, right? You just want to cut off white from that edge there. Again, the white should have moved in the same spot. Assuming, I think whoever does play that move will probably be in a better spot now. White sort of just has a line going down the middle, but not a whole lot of solid territory here. Ooh, interesting. What channel do I go to? You go to the traditional games channel. It's under board game / war game. And if you check the pinned messages in there, here, I'll just bring this over here. So here I am in the server. If you scroll down here to board game / war game, there's traditional games, and if you click this pinned messages thing, I don't know if you downloaded it or if you're in the browser, but under pinned messages you should be able to see the daily Go problem list there. White's going to play the Hane. Okay, that's fine. Not the biggest move, but still fine. White's going to descend, so it's probably better to just connect there. That gives you the option of playing a7 later. We don't have numbers on here, but can probably figure out where a7 is. Black should just play it now. That's Sente, forces white to respond. Although playing at h5, the other point I was talking about, is still probably bigger. Black still thinking here. So this game has been pretty simple. Let me get the link here. responding to something real quick. So we saw, ooh, I missed the order there, but something like this, and then white played that, black played that, white played that, and now black should connect, yep. So white can try to get something done here. The correct move would have been on the second line instead of the first line there. If you played there, you're kind of giving up. I mean, the stones on the side should be dead, but you can still try to save them if your opponent makes a mistake. Is Luke here? I think Luke was here earlier, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's still here. Bits still haven't reset. I guess they reset at the end of the day, maybe. But yeah, Luke, if you have any questions about how to play the game, just let me know and I can give you some explanation. Can start earning points for Crane, maybe. Whoops. So it is white's move. So at this point, you should probably play a7 at some point before black plays that for free. I would just do that now, honestly. And then there's not really much else left. Ooh. Good thing about saying a7 is they probably don't know what I'm talking about unless they're the same perspective as me. Not that they would be listening to the stream, but okay, so it is gonna do some kind of ko there. This is not really a ko though, because black just plays on one of the sides. I mean, capturing is fine. Like, what's white gonna do? But like, even if you win this ko, there's nothing there. So let's do a quick count. Assuming white plays a7 and we get the normal response there. Black has 16, 17, 18. How many captures? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 30? About 30 points. White has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. So black's ahead by like 14 points here. Assuming nothing crazy happens, of course. See how black responds to this. He should just descend at f1. Like, there's nothing white can do. He can make you fill in at h4, but that's about it. Okay, that's fine. Worse than just descending, but fine. Someone really should go back to the upper left side, play that move. So waiting on white here. You could try to get black to make a mistake by playing there, but it's probably not going to work. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Black just descends again. Yeah, I can't do anything about this. Trying to read it out though, maybe.
Sorry, I'm just gonna take a minute for this. Need a
No
drink.
problem. No worries.
I muted myself on here so I could do commentary on the stream.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I've been kind of silent.
yeah. After we finish, we can go over it. Should be fun.
For sure. I'd love to hear about all the things I did wrong.
Yeah, so let's see here. There's no sequence here where you just maybe I can bring up this window and show it. There's no sequence here where you can capture something no matter what. You have to rely on black making a mistake. So like if you play here, the mistake for black would be he would have to just play somewhere else, right? And then you play there. And then black can't play here. Black's still fine though if you play there. So yeah, it doesn't really look that good. If you play something like this, black just descends. If you play this, black descends. So yeah, there's just no way. So yeah, the big move here is this. This forces black to play this. And then white can't play here because then this happens. It's bad. So white has to connect and then black connects. And then white plays here, black plays here. And that's about all. That happens at some point. But yeah, that's where we are right now. So still thinking about this. Again, there is nothing you can do here actually. Like if we back up a little bit, again, black should have just descended there, but you shouldn't have started this ko. Backing up even more, white shouldn't have played here, white should just descend. This was the key move here. Nothing yet. But we saw this. What happened after that? I think white descended, black played there, and then that happened. Yeah. Still waiting on black's move.
Okay, sorry about the delay.
Alright, we have that move.
No
Yes.
worries. Oh, where'd you just go? Right
Right here.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably the best move given the situation. Black should just descend. Again, it is still better to play in the upper left. Okay, black just does that. That's fine, I guess. A little worse than descending, but black is still going to have more points here, so it should be fine. To add another name here. What did I miss? Nothing. Yeah, so you can just play at, what's that? You can play G1. It's fine. But the problem with that is that black doesn't have to capture. Yep. So, because it's a snapback, so black can just go up to the top left. So yeah, you really should play at the top left at this point. Just push there. Guess they're really focusing on this bottom corner though. Ooh, that's interesting. So the problem with this is that black can just descend in Sente, no less. move. So yeah, that white stone is just cut off now, and he has to add another move below there so he doesn't get captured. Yep, there we go. And now black can play whatever he wants, which there isn't really a lot available. So playing at one of those bamboo joints is just 1 point gote for black. Do I get a cookie? No, but you are now on the spreadsheet with 1 point. Ooh, we have a solution for the easy problem here as well. Let me check that. That's 1 point for dragon. Ooh, okay, yeah, that's actually a better move. It looks bad because that's like a big dumpling there, but it's probably the best move left on the board. Yep, dragon now tied for first place along with scorpion with 1 point each. Yep, so white should just block there. And there isn't really much else, so those two bamboo joints again. Black should... I think all the moves left are 1 point. It's the two bamboo joints, which are sente for white, and then all the moves are sente for white and gote for black, actually. And then there's the move at the bottom there. Ooh, not that. Yeah, so if you played at G1, you wouldn't have to capture those. That would be slightly better. Now that point down there is just dame. But yeah, again, white should play both of these bamboo joints. Just try to push through and get the free points there. And that will be the game, probably. Oops. Gotta get a picture that represents Mantis Clan here. Hard ones? Yeah, there'll be a hard problem on Monday and Friday. If you check out the spreadsheet, you can see the schedule on there. Good to see Tabletop Sim being used. Yeah, Tabletop Sim is pretty fun. Can play a lot of good games on there. So we're waiting on white to make a move here. Right? Yeah. So again, the only moves left are pushing at these bamboo joints, which are both Sente for white. Kinda hope this ends soon. I'll make a post in Crab Chat about the new season.
I pass.
I passed too.
Good game.
I think. Good game.
Alright, so that is it. There's one point here which is Dame.
Oh, yeah.
So you can, whoever wants to fill that in can go ahead. It's not a point for either player. And then this stone is dead, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, black's gonna have 20 up here, and then 5, so 25.
I have 10, and then so that's 16 and a half, so I think you beat me handedly.
That was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it took me too long to realize that like I had lost it up here, and then there was nothing to do at that point.
Yeah, so that was an interesting game. Let me go back to the start here and we can go over it.
Sure.
Alright, so, whoops, got 2 there. So it started out like this. Whoops. Go on the intersections. 6, 7, 8. So far, nothing too interesting happening. Just playing on all the star points, basically.
Is that normal?
Not really. Like it's not. I don't want to say it's bad, really, but so white currently has like this line going down the center here. That's probably not going to be particularly useful unless you can keep this black stone isolated and try to kill it. Meanwhile, black has basically this whole top side as territory here. Black also has stones in 3 of the corners, whereas white only has a stone in 1 corner. Generally, corners are good spots to get at the start of the game. So we have 9, 10. Yeah, I maybe would have played this as black just to keep your stone safer down there. After this white move, it's kind of lonely.
Yeah.
You should still be fine though, because you could play this to try to connect, and then white would have to do that. So you're still connected actually, so that's fine. If white tried to play this, you could play this to Atari, and then if white connects, you capture that stone. So yeah, that's fine. This move. So this is interesting. If white connects here, which I believe is what happened, black should immediately play here. This now connects all of your stones together into one nice big group.
Yeah.
If white plays here, however, Let's
Yeah, it's
see.
dangerous to go there.
So you could play here, but it's kind of tricky now.
It's dangerous like either way. I felt like that was like the more aggressive play, but I wasn't certain I could. Like the last thing I want to happen is to like lose this chunk here, and then I feel like I'm kind of screwed. So I played it conservative.
Yeah, I think this is fine for black. Seems like no matter what white does, these three stones down here are going to get captured. So I think you do have to play this as white. Let's see what happened next. So now black plays here. This move doesn't really do a whole lot. Not really sure on the thought process behind it. Again, it definitely.
I couldn't really tell you.
Okay, yeah. Because like this is already a solid connection here between these stones. So doing this, this creates something called the bamboo joint, which is something you see when you have two stones and then two, but they're one space apart. They call it the bamboo joint because it's impossible to break. Wherever white tries to play to break you apart, you just play the other space, right?
Yeah.
So that's like the most solid connection you can have other than actually being connected. But again, without that, you're still fine. Like, you just do that. So.
Well, if you do that, couldn't. Wait. You're fine that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If white
Okay.
played here, you just connect there.
Wait. I just saw it. Okay, if couldn't white.
And you capture.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And if white plays there, you just
Got
connect.
it. Yep. Okay.
So. Let's see.
I just went here.
Yep. So again, that should have been this is like the biggest
For
point on the
sure.
board right now. Both players should have definitely been trying to play that. This move doesn't really do a whole lot either. Black can't really do anything here because you just play that, right?
Hmm.
I don't think he can really go anywhere.
Hmm.
If that didn't work, of course, you could just play here. That's fine also.
Hmm.
Yeah, so connection there. Black makes another bamboo joint. Again, this is still the biggest point here. White plays here. That's not a bad move, but it's still smaller than this. Black responds. So at this point, if white lets black have another move, black will capture here. White can play here and force black to play another move, and then white has sort of the initiative now, but you do lose that stone. So the normal move here would just be to connect. And then if black doesn't respond, you can later on try to play this. White actually descends here, though. So the problem with the descent is that if black plays this now this move is pretty bad, right? Because it captures two stones here. So at this point, you really need to connect. So black should just play this right away, I think. If black doesn't play that right away, white can also play this, which is good for white because now black has to play the last move. But yeah, black actually came back over here. Again, this is still a big point. Yeah. White descends. Black plays here. So this group that you're making right here is kind of not ideal. It's about to turn into what we call a dumpling, which means basically a bunch of stones that are really close together, but they're not really surrounding any territory.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you don't want, because it means there are unnecessary moves in there. White is going to drop down here. Unfortunately, this doesn't quite work, because black can play this. White tries Atari there. Black connects. And yeah, these two white stones, there's not really any way to save them at this point. Black comes down, or sorry, white goes down there. Black does this. You didn't even really have to do this yet. You could have played this first.
Yeah.
Probably be fine. But yeah, this is fine also. White tries to make a ko, but like I was saying, this isn't really a ko because black can just play like here. And then the white stones are just dead, right?
Right.
Black does start the ko though. Whoops. And then white comes down there. And then black captures. Put a stop to that.
I mean, this was the point where I realized how badly I messed up in this area.
Yeah.
I kind of, like, it was like either like at this move or a couple moves down, I started, like, I took a few minutes to, like, desperately try to conceive of a way to, like, turn one of these into a false eye, and I couldn't find one.
Yeah, it was a little bit too late at this point. The key move was playing this instead of this earlier. White comes down here. There's no way actually for these white stones to escape. Black can actually just descend here. And you're fine.
That's still not what I do.
Yeah, you play there.
Making the even bigger dumpling.
Right. So, like, if you didn't have this move in there, this is just better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of an unnecessary move now.
Yeah.
White's going to play here. Again, black should probably descend. If white plays here now, white can't play here to put you into Atari because you just capture. So this saves you playing two moves in the corner.
Yeah.
You just have to play this one move. This move here, now if white plays here, you're forced to capture.
Yeah.
Although, actually, no. These would still just be dead, right? Because this is a snapback, so you wouldn't actually have to play that. To show that in depth a little more. If white captures here, white only has one liberty still, so you just capture back and capture those 4 stones. So you wouldn't actually be forced to play that move. So it's actually not a big deal. You are filling in 1 point of territory, though, here.
Yeah, it's 1 extra point.
Yeah. White comes up here and plays this. Again, that should have been there. It's still not enough points to win the game, obviously, but...
Right, I was thinking, like, okay, this corner is lost.
Yeah.
Like, the only way back into this game is if I can somehow take a piece of territory over here. So while, if I get, like, a couple moves into that, like, that was, I thought that was my best line. But there's really no chance, like, I had no chance of, like, getting anything at this point. It was, like, basically I should have, like, played here and then, like, just passed out.
Yeah.
That's what I think I was at that point.
Yeah, this move was probably the best at that point because that forces this sequence to happen, and now black has 2 less points there. And then you play that one.
Sure.
But yeah, letting black play here means that you now have to connect here, which is not what you want to do. And then at this point, we're kind of running out of moves here. We have these 2 points that are like 1 point each. If white plays them, black has to respond, but if black plays them, white doesn't have to respond, so that's good for white. You can play those whenever you want.
Well, wait, if if black plays here, like they've just gotten 1 more point that way.
Right, they got 1 more point, whereas if white played here, they have 1 less point.
Right,
However,
so I thought it...
this is slightly better for white because when white plays here, black is forced to respond, and then now
I get that.
White's move again.
Oh, I see. But if black plays here, like white can just do whatever. He's not under any threat.
Right.
So even though like black gets points, they don't get any tempo.
Yeah. In Go, we call that sente. That's basically when you play a move and it forces your opponent to respond, you still have sente. It's like initiative. You can go and play somewhere else now. Whereas the opposite of sente is gote. So like if you play here as black, white doesn't have to do anything, so white has sente now. So these are 1 point sente for white and 1 point gote for black. Sente being better.
I
Black.
think up until this point, all the other moves were worth more than 1 point.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this move is also 1 point. This is slightly more Sente for black because white wants to respond
White
there.
has to respond. Yeah.
You don't have to, I guess. You could play here. Like this black really needs to respond to that. Um, and then this one, I guess you could not respond to and play here, but then white gets the same result, right? Still just
Yeah.
1 point. So yeah, but white does respond to that. Black actually captures here. Again, that's not necessary, but
Unnecessary. Yeah.
yeah. And then white
Well,
is
I had to do it by the end of the game, but I should have gone for the 1 point. I guess. Yeah.
yeah. White is going to go ahead and take these 2 points here. And then again, this is just not a point for either player. So yeah, that's it for that game. Pretty good. Yeah, I think mainly in that game, just like white missed a couple of chances to split black apart. And because of that, black was just able to get more territory.
That's really interesting.
Yep.
I get kind of like in the first moves, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna play pieces, and then later on, I'm able to read it better. I feel like.
Well, yeah, because as the game goes on, there's fewer choices that are obviously reasonable moves,
Yeah.
so it's a lot easier to compare them.
But I know from chess, like the most prominent thing is chess openings. Like there's books written about just the openings, So I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the
Well,
That's-
that's because like there's the fewest like variables like from game to game in terms of opening, so it kind of makes sense to like write a book about that part compared to writing a book about the mid game.
It's really interesting. The words I would love someone to say when talking about Go. Yeah. So, we got a dog.
Sorry, I'll mute myself real quick.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of that in Go too. Opening strategy is a really big thing, but you mainly see that on the full size board, the 19 by 19. It's not really a thing very much on the 9 by 9 since it's so small.
Yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it basically just turns into like a fight immediately on the small board.
Yeah, I've only ever played on the small board.
Yeah. We gotta get you guys moving up to the bigger ones.
I'm scared.
Well, we can, but like, it seems like Go really ends before it ends, and then there's just a matter of playing it out.
Yeah.
And it seems like at least with the small boards that like playing it out stage is
Shorter.
quicker. So I think until we get to a point where we can like recognize the game is over, it makes sense to stick with the small boards.
Yeah, 9 by 9 Fuseki is a thing, I guess, but not as much. Honestly, just jump to the full 19 by 19. Someone in chat recommends just moving to the full 19 by 19 immediately.
Take off the training wheel.
Yeah. I don't really disagree with that. I think it's kind of preference, like, I don't know.
Well, it's just a matter of like it takes like 4 times as long, I would guess, because there's 4 times as many spaces. That's assuming you can decide as quickly, and I'm guessing that's less the case.
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot longer. It is the problem with it for new players is that when you're a new player, it's hard to have like a whole board sense. You even saw that on the smaller board a little bit where you were playing other moves and ignoring the big ones like this one and this one. Like just imagine on the big board where the other side of the board is like almost a completely different game relatively.
Yeah.
It can be difficult to manage that.
I don't think this space was so much we were ignoring it as like neither of us saw the significance of it.
Right, that's true.
Right.
What's happening in chat? I like to play 17 by 17. Yeah, I don't know about that.
How'd they decide on the like size of the go boards? I don't really see a pattern.
It's all an odd number of spaces. Playing Go on
Yeah, but do they do like
even board.
15?
Technically you can do any size you want, but the standard ones are just the standard ones because that's what they are. I think there was a point like in ancient China where they played on a 21 by 21 or something like that, or maybe it was 17 by 17, something different. But nowadays, 19 by 19 is just the standard. Oh, it was, yeah, I think 17 by 17 was the original Go board. Yeah, you can do 9 by 19 if you want. That's true. You can do anything, but some people even make funny Go boards. Like in that trailer I sent you, Evan, for the documentary.
Yeah,
At one point, they were showing like they had a United States shaped Go board.
right.
They had like I've seen one with like hexagons instead of squares. That's pretty wild.
That's interesting. That would totally change the game.
Yeah,
All the patterns are different.
yeah. Um, some crazy stuff you could do. But yeah, again, I think it's like mostly preference, right? Two by two, yeah, that's where the strategy goes out the window. Um,
So this is more of a like pedantic rules question than anything else. But if you had a one by one go board, if you placed a piece, would it immediately be captured?
yes, so there are no legal moves on a one by one Go board. On a two by two Go board, like let's say we surround this with black stones, so the space inside black stones is a two by two board. Um, White's gonna play in one space, and then black plays the opposite space. And now anywhere you play, your opponent's gonna capture you. So the game is just over at this point.
Hmm.
So another thing we can do if you guys want is, um, I remember in one of the books that I have, they went over like a professional 9x9 game. That might be fun.
That does sound interesting.
That does sound interesting, yeah.
Let me see if I can find it here real quick. No, not there. Handicaps.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick though.
Alright. Ah, here we go. So yeah, I guess I'll wait for him to get back, and then we can get started here. What's this? um, yeah, that didn't quite work, did it? Image of a multicolored Go board. Let me see. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing you can do is you can do. I've tried that one time, kind of. I kind of want to try it still, but you can do like Go with like more than two players and just have more colors. Um,
That seems messy.
yeah, it is. It's kind of neat though. It's hard work, yeah. And then there's like you can some people do like one color Go where both people play the same color and you have to remember whose stones are whose. That's pretty fun.
So do you have like different colors on the bottom in case there's an argument?
No. I mean, you could, I guess, but you're just supposed to remember. Like that's kind of it's kind of just like a challenge, you know, to not necessarily to play better than your opponent, but to be able to remember where all the stones are. Um,
I mean, why even have any stones at that point? Just start like naming out coordinates.
yeah. You can play blind go too. But that's kind of crazy.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. Alright, so this game here is from, it says it's from the Japanese 2002 Women's 9x9 NHK Championship, played on TV with fast time limits. Both of these players are 5-dan professionals, and Komi is 6.5 points. So white gets to add 6.5 points to their score. We start out here. Hello, Yeti. And they have some comments about it in here, like on bigger boards, play usually begins in the corners, but on the small 9x9 size, opening play in the center is fine. White's going to respond with this. Didn't drown. Okay, that sounds good.
Must be in the hurricane.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh wait, no. It was this move first, so they're just kind of mirroring each other right now. Black is going to attach to white here. So black is kind of saying, like, if you don't do anything, I'm going to take more of the board than you have here, right? So white sort of has to defend against that. So white's going to go underneath here. This is probably better than like this, because going underneath gives you access to the edge, which is more points. Black is going to cut. So this is actually a specific type of cut called a cross cut, when you have 4 stones diagonal like that. And what black is trying to do is separate these 2 white stones into 2 separate groups, so it's harder for white to defend them. White plays an Atari and black descends, so he doesn't get captured. Or I should say she, because these players were both women. White, so this white stone here is now in a little bit of trouble. If black plays this, then it's dead. So white is going to extend up this way, and black pushes. So same situation here. If black plays there, white's in trouble. So white's going to extend again. And now black says, okay, I'm done playing over there. I'm going to come down here and attack these 2 stones. So this stone is now an Atari, which white is going to respond to by coming out here. And black plays this now. So this white stone now is dead. If white tries to descend, black just does this, and you can't run anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So black has captured 1 stone here. And that also means that this black group is alive now. Hold on, got to respond to a text real quick. Yeah, so that black group is alive. No matter, like, there's not really any way for white to kill that, right? So let's see, what is white gonna do next? Yeah, so like they're saying here, white is giving up the corner to black in exchange for setting up a fight over the center. So these black stones over here are still in a little bit of trouble. They don't have any solid eyes yet, so white can try to bully them and get something out of that. White's gonna play here just to, this is what they call a forcing move. After white plays here, if black doesn't play here, then this stone gets captured and your group is like probably dead. So
well, she could capture here, right?
Yeah, but that's slightly worse because then white can play here and this is a false eye now.
Okay.
Unless you fight a co. Yeah, it's better to play here.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's more solid.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's a forcing move. Forcing moves are good because you can pretty much play them for free. since black has to respond, like if you didn't play that, black could maybe play this later, which you don't really want. So it's good to just force this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then white plays here next. So this is, again, threatening this black group. What you can do now is, let's say black doesn't respond to that for some reason. You can play here, and this cuts these apart. If white plays here, then black plays there, you play here and set up a snapback. If black captures, then you can just capture back.
Mm-hmm.
If black plays black plays underneath, I think you still. Oh no, you just capture, because he only has one liberty. Yeah, so not the best spot for black there. So black definitely wants to respond to this. Let's see what the response is. The response is to play here, and this is good because this is a move that does multiple things. That's something you always want to be thinking about in Go, is that if a move can do two things at once, that's better than a move that just does one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what this move does is it protects this group by protecting that cutting point there, and it also puts pressure on this white group on the side. We're back to a situation where if black plays here next, white is in trouble, probably going to get captured. So white has a couple things to respond to there. Let me see here. So they have a variation here. White is going to play here next. That stone wasn't there. So this move is saying, okay, you can play here and capture these stones if you want, but I'm going to probably get more than that in response. And they have a variation of what would have happened if white tried to save those stones. So if white tries to save these three stones, the first move would probably be here. Black has to respond to that, because now if white descends, then these two stones are going to get captured, right?
Mm-hmm.
So black has to play here and capture. And then white comes over here to make some more eye space. But now, so white saved this group now, but now it's black's move, and so he can do, or she can do something like this, right? And now this white group here needs to make eyes and doesn't have a lot of space to do so. So it's probably actually not a good idea to try and save that group right now. This move seems stronger. So black...
And this up here hasn't happened yet.
Right. Yeah, that hasn't happened. Thanks. Black is going to play here, which looks a little bit risky. White responds by playing here, which puts this black stone in Atari. Black is actually just going to sacrifice that stone, though. This is something you see more at higher level play, is players are very willing to sacrifice a stone if they think that it's going to get them more back. So black, instead of playing here, which would be not good because now this black group is in trouble, black is going to play here and let white capture, which white does. And then next up, black plays here. And so what black's doing here is keeping his group connected along the side here. Next up, white is going to play here and Atari this stone. And now it looks like black is going to fight the Ko. Yeah, so black captures here to fight the Ko. That's the first actual capture, so I'll put that over there. They have a little explanation about Ko in here, just in case. So white now has to... White doesn't want to give this up, so white is going to play a Ko threat to try and capture back. And that Ko threat is this move, which we talked about earlier. If black doesn't respond, you capture here, and now all of these black stones are probably dead. So black does need to respond to that. They have a little variation showing why ignoring that is bad. So black captures, and then white is going to take the Ko back. So now black needs to find a Ko threat. Black plays here, What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Black plays here. So I feel like this isn't really a co-threat. This is just kind of saying, okay, I don't have a good enough threat, so I'm just gonna, if you capture that, this move keeps my group safe here. And white does finish off the ko by capturing there. So if we look at the whole board, currently all of the stuff over on this side of the board is black's territory, including these white stones, which are captured. Not captured, but they're dead. And then over here looks to all be white's territory pretty much. There is still, so the space I'm looking at right now is right here. That's kind of an opening in between the two territories there that could potentially make a difference depending on who gets to play there first. If black gets to play there, that's like a big reduction in white's territory over white just playing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So black actually has to play another move here to ensure that these white stones get captured. She's in a little bit of danger because there are only 2 liberties here for this black group. So if black didn't play there, let's see, what could white do?
There's 3 liberties for this group.
Right, 3, yeah. So this forces a response because if white plays here, then you get captured. So black probably has to play there, white can play there to threaten that capture. Black has to capture, and then white descends, and now white's alive. There's like some weird variations, but yeah, I think white's alive here. So you don't want to let that happen. So black just plays there to capture white. Now there's nothing white can do. And then white is going to go and take that move that I was talking about, play there. Black has a little sequence here to get a couple extra points. This is something you'll see a lot. Since the boundary of the territory is on the edge here, black's going to kind of poke in. White defends. Now black has to connect so he doesn't get captured. And then white has to connect as well, because if black's allowed to play here, now this white stone will get captured. So white defends there. And then black comes back up here and plays this move. If white played that instead, then this stone would get captured, so that's good. So we're coming to the end game now. There aren't a whole lot of moves left that are worth points. That was 37. White's gonna get another point over here. Black responds there, and then white connects. And now black is gonna play here to threaten to capture that. White doesn't want that, so it just connects. And that is going to be the end of the game there. So we can go ahead and count that real quick. Let's put these over here actually. And they really like to not go on the intersections. So white has 19 plus Comey, so 25.5. Black is going to have 18 plus 3, so 21. Is that correct? Oh, I might have missed some prisoners. Oh no, that's just because yeah, so white wins.
Yeah, so black would have won by 2, but then Comey's more than that, so white wins.
Right. Is it 5.5? But yeah, anyway, that is it for that game. So one thing you can kind of see from that game is that both players were really sort of, trying to fight each other at every point in the game. Like, they didn't want to let the other player have anything if they could help it. And that's really what you see a lot on the small 9x9 board. It just turns into like a fight instantly, pretty much. Um, yeah, what do you think? You want to do... There's another one in here if you want to do another one.
We could. I kind of want to play again.
Yeah, if you want to play, that's fine also.
I'm good either way. I probably only have time for one more thing.
Alright, let's just do another game
Better
then.
playing one. Okay,
You guys can go ahead and play.
sweet. Should we do? What should we?
Maybe you should switch colors since Evan won last time.
Okay.
And do
Sure.
no Komi.
Sounds good. With all our new attained knowledge.
Yep.
Right.
Hopefully helps.
We're gonna play out the exact same game.
Well, yeah, I mean, white shouldn't do that because white knows that you only win that if you have Komi, right?
Oh, is that?
Play
I
out
should
this-
pay more attention.
Play out the
Oh,
same game,
man.
I mean, you know.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because white won that game, but that was because of Komi, and we're not doing that here. But yeah, I mean, you can still play that move.
I
It's fine.
still don't know what. Well, if the actual game plays out exactly the same.
Do you think you could play that whole game out move for move?
I'll do something different so that it immediately makes it different.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it would have been exactly the same.
I'm sure.
It's actually a common response for white, yeah. Go ahead and mute myself on Discord so I can talk about it. Yeah, so I like playing the center right. Seems good, yep.
That's probably a terrible move, but let's see how it plays out.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, so I feel like I like that because it keeps white separated, right? Don't really like that second line move earlier, but oh well. Gotta put this book back. Ooh, interesting. Okay, that seems good. White can cut now, though. But that might be okay for black. And we do see the cut. I don't like this. I think you should play... You should play like one of these spaces, right? So black's group is kind of weak here. A lot of cutting points, and white is going to take one. Black connects. What do you do now, though? Okay. And then you probably Hane on the bottom. Maybe? I don't know. Probably going to wrap up the stream after this game here. After I review it, that is. Okay, so black should go down now, right? Or you could just capture those 2 white stones. Does that capture them? Better move would have probably been H7. Yeah, now you should be able to capture them, right? Because if you play there, white can't escape, but if he captures, then you can't connect. If you connect, you're dead. Don't do that. Close. I think that still works. Yeah, that still works for black, right? Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, white does have some forcing moves down on the bottom though, which is probably good. And then you should go back and make sure you capture that black stone in the center. That's not. Ooh, that's. Ooh. This is Ko now. Whoops. So white should capture. Yep. And now black has to have a Ko threat here.
No, I was forgetting something.
You can capture those 2 white stones towards the center. That would probably be good. Get something out of it here. White should just capture now. Like, you don't have any throw threats, right? So just capture. Ooh, what's the go threat gonna be? I don't know about this. I guess,
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention either.
I guess you could play at D7 and just try to get more of the board.
That was a big mistake on my part.
Yeah, I'm like desperately thinking, is there anything I can place that's going to exert enough pressure? And apparently it didn't take that much.
Oh, I just forgot.
Yeah.
It had been too long since the last move.
So white's gonna capture there, and then black captures up there. So yeah, now white should go up there from those two stones and just try to get more territory. I mean, that's not terrible, but actually it's pretty terrible, right? Yeah, there you go. So white still has a chance here. The bottom territory is bigger than top. Shidhane, yep. Then black connects. Is he thinking about double Hane? I don't know how I feel about that. Descends. Okay. Guess that's fine. So white should descend as well. And then white actually has to come back and protect, I think, because there aren't enough liberties. You can just capture those two black stones. That's better, actually. So yeah, white descends, black defends, and then white captures the two stones in the middle. I think that's the best sequence here. Okay. Ooh, black's gonna play there, so you do have to respond to that. Just Atari that stone, right? No, don't do that. No. Oh, okay. Yeah, do that. Okay, good. Scared me for a second. Black descends. White can follow. Now what does black do? Plays there. So yeah, I mean you can still get some points here, I guess. I mean that's technically fine. Yeah, I think that's correct here. So black can go around the outside here and get a couple points.
I was just thinking I was getting the hang of this, and then
Ugh.
I would probably go back and
I
connect.
mean, I
at
made
the
that
top.
egregious mistake earlier.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing keeping me in this game.
But yeah, I think white's just gonna have more territory, right? Like 6, 10, 12, 16. It's like 16 for black, and then, yeah, white just has more points. Let's see what black does. But yeah, I would probably just connect on the top now, and then force white to play another move to protect. And then you can play J3, and then you lose, right? Um, is there anything there? I don't think there is. Like, white just captures those 2 stones on the top now. Yeah, shouldn't be anything there. Unless white makes a mistake. I mean, yeah, I'd call that a mistake, technically. Okay, now you need to capture those 2 stones, right? There's no other move here. Ooh, no. Is he gonna do it? Yeah, I don't know about that one. Really thinking about this one. Oh, he did it. I wonder what he's reading there. Oh, black's gonna give him another chance. Yeah, if you just capture those 2 stones at the top, then you just solve all your problems. So, I guess the question now is this enough for black to win? It's like 16 over there. 5. It's like 25 now. Then white has 33. Yeah, I think white still wins. Ooh, he sees it. Nice. Yeah, so white's fine now.
I think this might have been one of those points that we've been missing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he gave black a chance there too, but didn't take it, unfortunately. Yep, so there's the capture, and the game is pretty much over now. Pretty much. There's a point or two black can get on the bottom. Just thinking about this here. The correct move at this point is obviously to resign. Okay, we'll see what happens here though. So white should just Hane, and he has nothing to worry about. Yep, that is what we see. Like, there's nothing really to talk about right now, is there? Um, so the only moves left that are worth anything are these, right? And then if white does this, you play here. And black has like not very many points. Two whites more than that. Okay, black played there. So I guess that's fine also. White's gonna capture. It's fine, so now you can play either of those moves. You'd have to capture in the end anyway, so that's good. So yeah, there's only one move left now. See if they can.
I pass.
Passes. And yep, there it is. This is a 1 point difference.
Look up
I
there.
pass.
I just pass here, right?
Yeah, so that should be it there. So yeah, that's dead. These are dead. Those are dead. And there's more over here, it looks like. Yeah, so white's gonna come out ahead there.
This one
Pretty handedly.
went into the bag by accident.
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah,
Ah,
it does
whatever.
that. So yeah, that was an interesting game. Let's go over that real quick.
Good game, well played. That was fun.
Yeah, you too.
So back to the start here. All right. So black started here. White responded here. So far, so good. Black plays here. I'm not a huge fan of this because it's on the second line, which is a little bit too close to the edge this early in the game, I think. I probably would have played something like this, or this even, just to sort of, you know.
No, I agree. After like the first move, I kind of like just started picking random spaces this game.
Yeah, white plays this, and then black cuts here. So the problem with playing moves that are separated by a space like this is that your opponent can cut them apart. If you play like this move, now it's a lot harder, right?
Yeah.
So usually, I mean, it's not that this is bad, it's just that if you want to keep your white stones connected to each other, that's probably not the best way.
See, I played that and thought like that's really aggressive. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get punished for this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
White plays here. At this point, so you played here. So actually doesn't seem bad. Like white plays there. I don't know. I think you probably should have connected.
Probably.
Just keep white separated, right? But yeah, white is going to play there, and now this black stone is suddenly cut off in the middle there. It's not necessarily captured yet. Black can still play like here to try to save it. If white plays here, though, now it can't run away anymore. Black's going to play here. I don't really like this very much because it leaves like a lot of cutting points here that white can play. This might have been good. This could have been good maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so white is going to play this cutting point here. Black connects. And then white plays this. So if black connects here, you should be fine, which is what happened. At this point, white should just play here. This forces black to come back and capture this stone, and now you can go back and capture this, and hopefully have a bigger area. White descends here, though, so this shouldn't work for white. The correct move for black would be here. That way, no matter where white plays,
Oh, that makes sense.
black is
What
fine,
did I
right?
do?
You played underneath here, which
Oh, that was silly. I'm like trying to like cut off white from a direction it already can't go.
yeah, so yeah, it makes sense, but it doesn't actually work. as well. White can't play that. Oh yeah, I guess not, huh?
Because you get cut off too easily.
Yeah, that seems like trouble. So that's probably not the best move. But anyway,
Though the move I made probably wasn't either.
yeah. So black plays here, white plays here now. So at this point, black can't connect because then white plays here, and black only has one liberty and nowhere to run. So connecting is no good. I think the correct move here is to play this. That way white can't escape there, still get captured. And if white captures here, you just play there, and you should be fine. You ended up playing here. This is actually fine also. Again, if white captures, you just play there. And if white connects here, you can Atari. And then if white captures, you Atari again. And then you capture those.
Oh, man. You can see those so quickly. It's so cool.
Man, it's like I was like this close to making a reasonable play.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Black actually played here. Again, this is not good because now white plays here, which is what happened. And then when black plays up here, white captures, and now this is a ko. And I think white...
Getting my least favorite part of the game.
Yeah. White should probably capture here next, no matter where black plays. I think a good move for black would have probably been here, and then you do this after, and capture those stones. Black played here. That's probably okay also. These stones aren't as captured now. But yeah, white ended up responding to that.
Whoops.
Yeah,
I think a large part of that was it took me like so long to decide which like irrelevant move to make.
Yeah. So that's not ideal there. Black is going to capture the ko back now, and then white plays...
I started a ko and I didn't finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, kos can get kind of tricky because you have to think of a lot of different things at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so white plays here to capture these two black stones, make sure they're captured. Black's going to capture there. So that's good for black. The only problem now for black is that you only have the territory over here, whereas white can potentially get the rest of the board here, so you kind of need to do something about that. There are like a few cutting points here that you can try. Right now I think this is the biggest point on the board, and I think, yep, that is what white played. And then black goes underneath there, that's good. White goes here. So at this point, black should just connect. This way it sets up like this move for later. Seems good.
Well, if I just... Okay, that makes sense, but if I do that, I guess white can try to do this, but it probably isn't going to get anywhere doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't really get a whole lot. And then you still end...
It basically just like shortens my territory by a space.
Yeah, which is fine.
I mean, if I,
yeah, you
I think what I
descended.
actually did there, which prevents that, but
Yeah, that seems good, but it actually is a little bit greedy, I think, because now when white descends here, you have to defend this cutting point. Which didn't happen yet. You actually played this, which is fine because if white now comes up and plays this, you just capture these, which is better. So that's fine. So white has to connect here. Black descends. So this doesn't actually work for black because...
It's got me at both sides. I'm gonna like run into the edge of the board.
Yeah, if white plays on this side, then you're safe. You get the corner. But if white plays on this side, it's trouble now. I think at this point the best thing to do would be to play here. What that does is white can't play here or he gets captured. So
Mhm.
white has to do like this probably to make sure those black stones are captured, and then you get another forcing move here and make him capture that,
Mhm.
and then you end in Sente. Um, this doesn't really work. White just plays that and is fine. It was definitely giving white an opportunity to make a mistake. Like if white played there or something, you can capture since you have an extra liberty. But yeah, so black comes back up here. You should definitely connect the cutting point first. This will force white to respond as well, I think, because if black plays here, then this happens. You have to capture there. And then black descends. But then white plays there, I guess. But then black can do that. Yeah, so that actually works for black. Um, so yeah, connecting the cutting point is good. It forces white to respond. This is where I kept thinking, okay, one of them needs to see this point.
Yeah.
Um,
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's the point that
yeah,
was missing.
white playing here isn't the end of the world. If black connects, you can just capture and you're fine. You lose a point maybe, but oh well. Black extends. White plays here, which I think is actually like the worst move. Uh, so what black
Just
can
black.
do, yeah, what black can do now is play here, and now this white's group only has one liberty left. This formation, they call it the empty triangle, is notorious for not having a lot of liberties. So at
Mhm.
this point, white is just going to get captured. Black plays here though, and then this is where white finally sees this. And at this point, there's nothing black can do. Black tries to do this, but white just plays this, which is a good response. Pretty much shuts off any potential black adds there. Black's going to come back here. White captures. This is good because you're going to have to capture these stones eventually regardless. Like black could play here and then force you to capture and then get a free move here. But yeah, you just capture and then black passes and then yeah, black should have played there for one extra point, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
white was so far ahead on points that the game was just over at that point. But yeah, that's about it for that game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess the key part of that game was that black was kind of pushed off into this little corner over here where white just got like this whole big area. Um, so it didn't really matter that you lost that ko there because white just ended up with more territory anyway.
Yeah.
Was that just a matter of like when we were placing those initial couple stones, I like put mine too far to the side and not close enough to the center?
Yeah, I think so. So like it started out like this. Like I was saying, I think this move was too close to the side. Something like that would have been a lot better.
Hmm.
Yeah, generally you want to stay away from playing too close to the side like this on this first and second line. You
Right, because
could,
that's just
yeah, it's not enough territory that you're getting there. You could play on the third line. That is probably okay. Um, but again, something like this or this seems better because you're trying to surround all this. Then white has to do something. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream there. Um, been going for like 2.5 hours now. It seems pretty good.
I learned a lot. This is fun.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely
Thanks
good.
for organizing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks to you guys for coming on and playing as well. So yeah, just to remind everybody, the second season, well, technically the first season, since the last one was season 0, the first season has started for the Daily Go Problem thing. Currently, yeah, no problem where could be. Currently, Unicorn, Scorpion, and Dragon have 1 point, so all the other clans need to start working on that. And yeah, I'm planning on having just each season go for 2 weeks, see how that goes. But yeah, that's gonna do it. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.